Hey guys, I'm the Spookiest Ghost, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little different. Last Monday, we hit 20,000 subscribers. So before I even begin, I just want to say thank you guys so much. You guys are all so supportive and nice, and you never fail to put a smile on my face. The amount of nice comments and DMs I get from you guys is just amazing, and you really do keep me motivated and keep me wanting to make more videos for you guys. So yeah, it really means a lot to me that so many of you not only enjoy my videos, but also have been motivated by them and have found them helpful in one way or another. Believe it or not, that was always my main goal, and I'm just really happy that I've succeeded in doing that. So yeah, thank you guys so much, and I love all of you, as cliche as that sounds. Anyway, a few weeks ago, I promised that when I hit 20,000 subscribers, I would do a Q&A. So that's what we're going to do today. I know, I'm sure all of you have been dying to hear about my boring ass life. So let's just get started. By the way, I also want to say that if I pronounce your name wrong, please let me know in the comments below, and I apologize in advance because I am an idiot and I can't read, so please forgive me. Anyway. Gustav Christensen asks, what type of music do you like and what is your favorite album? I'm not really picky when it comes to music. I listen to all different kinds of genres, but I would have to say that my favorite genre of music is rock music, specifically alternative rock. That's just kind of what I grew up listening to, and there's just a lot of nostalgia and good times associated with it. I like different subgenres of rock music too, but alternative rock is what I mostly stick to. But I do like punk rock, I like metal, I like all that good shit also. As for my favorite album, I would have to say that it's In Utero by Nirvana. It's pretty underrated, but I would say it's by far their best album, and I would highly suggest that you listen to it. It's honestly a true work of art. Humongous asks, why did you decide to start your YouTube channel? Were you inspired by any existing channels? So I've actually gotten a few people ask me this question, so I'm going to leave it till the end of this video because the answer is kind of long. So for now, I'm just going to answer the more lighthearted questions and get into the more serious ones at the end of the video. Where did your username come from? My username is actually my name on PSN. I chose that name because I've always been really into horror and scary stuff, especially ghosts and demons and stuff like that, so I wanted to have a name that showed that. If you're wondering what makes me the spookiest ghost out of all of them, it's actually pretty simple. Ghosts are pretty scary, but my face is scarier. So that's why I chose that name. When eating cereal, do you put the milk first or the cereal? I'm a ghost, not a monster, so of course I put the milk in after the cereal. And do you consider hot dogs sandwiches? No, I don't consider hot dogs sandwiches. Does anyone consider them sandwiches? If you're watching this and you think hot dogs are sandwiches, just unsubscribe. Wait, I was just kidding. Like, please come back. Please? Not the Bees asks, when you first started your channel, did you ever think you'd get this many subscribers in such a short amount of time? Obviously I did. I mean, I'm the most amazing person on YouTube, so why wouldn't I blow up? I'm just kidding. I actually did not expect it at all. In fact, when I made this YouTube channel, I thought that it probably wouldn't go anywhere because there are probably millions of other YouTube channels. So what makes mine so special? I don't really know. I thought that it would take me at least 6 months to get 10,000 subscribers, if that ever even happened in the first place. My biggest fear was that I would upload my fat acceptance video and become the next Nicole Arbor, but luckily that didn't happen. I think I'm kind of funny, but I never thought that anyone else did. My friends say that I'm funny, but I always thought that they were just being nice, and I still kind of do, so it's genuinely surprising to me that people actually like me and find me entertaining, but I'm glad. I am so sorry if I pronounce your name incorrectly, but Evan Camuela Trias asks, do you play any video games? If so, PlayStation, Xbox, or PC, and what's your favorite game? I do play video games, but I don't really play them that much at this point. I'm a console gamer, so I play video games on my PlayStation 4. I don't do PC gaming, mostly because I suck at video games, and also my right hand starts to hurt a lot when I use my mouse for too long, so I feel like playing video games on my PC would probably give me carpal tunnel syndrome. I don't use Xbox because I'm a broke bitch and I don't have the money to get two gaming consoles. Also, even if I did, there are other things that I would say are more of a priority than a second gaming console. As for my favorite game, I have a few. I really liked Wolfenstein: The New Order. I thought that the storyline was great, I liked the character development, and the gameplay in general was fun. Fun fact about the Spookiest Ghost, I'm Jewish, so you can imagine I had quite a good time blowing the heads off of some Nazis. Not that I encourage that kind of behavior in real life, because I'm not like part of Antifa or something. I'm also playing Borderlands 2 and BioShock now, and I also really like them. Anon asks, do you believe in global warming? Yes, I do believe in global warming. Global warming scares the shit out of me, and I try to do what I can to be environmentally friendly, although I do still use straws sometimes. But like, I try to reuse them, so maybe that makes me seem like a better person. Sorry. The Puggy Artist asks, what/who inspired you to make YouTube videos? Also, favorite color. As I mentioned, I'm going to leave the more serious questions for the end of the video, but my favorite color is yellow. However, I also do like black. All of my clothes pretty much is black, and so is my soul. Ooh, look at me, I'm so cool and edgy. Emily McNamara says, congrats on reaching 20k. I'm super happy for you and you deserve it because your content is really great. I was wondering if your friends/family know about your YouTube channel, and if not, why? First of all, thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. And secondly, to answer your question, I do have some family that know about my YouTube channel and support it, as well as my two best friends, which also happen to be the only friends I have, really. I'm lucky enough to be able to say that my parents support my YouTube channel and that I haven't really had any issues with my family so far, but I do have some family who don't know about my YouTube channel because they will strongly disagree with most of my content. So there's that. They are actually part of the reason I hide my face, but we'll get into that later. Jose Sweet asks, how do you feel about gaining so many subscribers so quickly? Has it scared you, or do you enjoy the increasing fame? I'll be honest, it actually has scared me. As I mentioned, I really wasn't expecting this. It's really cool and exciting that I'm growing this fast, but on the other hand, it is a little bit scary simply because I wasn't prepared for this emotionally. I have pretty bad social anxiety, so it is a little scary knowing that 21,000 plus people are watching me, but I'm learning to deal with it, and I think I'll eventually get past this fear. Sarah E asks, as someone from New York, how do you deal with people who disagree with your less than 200% liberal opinions? As a student here, I know it's often difficult for me. Congrats, Spooks. Thank you for the congratulations, and to answer your question, honestly, I haven't had to deal with people who disagree with me for the most part, but that's because I don't really talk about politics outside of YouTube. I'm kind of a shut-in, and since no one I know in real life really knows about my YouTube channel, so far I haven't had any problems. That being said, I've seen quite a few protests here, and as I mentioned before, I have family members who are very liberal and who I don't want to start problems with, but unfortunately probably will at one point, simply because of our differing opinions. These family members happen to travel a lot through New York City and go to liberal colleges and are very passionate about their political beliefs, to say the least. But once I inevitably start having problems with my opinion, I will definitely talk about it. And although I don't have personal experience, I do think that the best way to deal with people like that is to just accept that they disagree with you. Some people will be nice about it and that'll be the end of the conversation, and some won't. And if they're not, just walk away. If they don't want to listen, don't waste your time. It's like talking to a brick wall. But take that advice with a grain of salt. Levi K asks, how is living in New York with opinions that are not as left-leaning as New Yorkers in general? You have a small fan base in Hungary, by the way. I will say that I actually am pretty left-leaning. However, many people here take it way too far. One thing that I've noticed with a lot of people in New York is that people hate Donald Trump so much that they want him to fail just on principle. You know, just so that they can say, we told you so. And I'm gonna be completely completely honest with you, I don't consider myself a Trump supporter. I don't agree with everything he has said. I don't agree with everything he has done, and I don't agree with some of the things that he wants to do in the future. But that being said, I think it's idiotic to want your president to fail just so that you can prove a point, because it's going to make your life infinitely harder in the coming years, and it's going to make life harder for the future generation. But unfortunately, that is a very, very common mindset here. There's anti-Trump propaganda pretty much everywhere, and honestly, it's really, really annoying, but you can't escape it. You're trapped looking at the same picture of Trump over and over again and hearing the same annoying chant from protesters. Granted, it's not as bad in the area that I live in, but I travel, so I've seen the way it is in hipster areas and tourist areas and whatever, and it's pretty bad, to say the least. But at the very least, I haven't had any conflicts with people because of my political opinion, so that's good. Also, it's really cool that I have fans in Hungary. Thank you guys for the support. Laurel Has Opinions asks, what do you think about on dark nights when the racing of your mind keeps you from sleeping peacefully? Well, Laurel, I think about the fact that one day I'm going to die and that we never really know when that's going to happen or how that's going to happen. For all I know, somebody could break into my house later today and stab me 50 times and sacrifice my body to Satan. I think about how I might not succeed in life and end up living a shitty life slaving away for some rich asshole when I can't even afford to get groceries, or how I might never find love and will die alone. Also, cats, because I really like cats. Johan and Anon ask, what hobbies do I have besides YouTube? My hobbies include practicing guitar, even though I suck at it, drawing, even though I suck at it, listening to music, which is everyone's hobby, and I like ceramics, but I have no way to do it anymore because I did it in school and now I can't do that, and I also suck at that. You might be wondering if I have any hobbies that I don't suck at, and I do. Those hobbies include crying myself to sleep and feeling bad for myself. Emmer Spoon asks, favorite drink and favorite food. This is pretty boring, but my favorite drink is flavored seltzer, you know, like LaCroix and stuff like that. I pretty much cut out soda from my diet completely, so now I just drink a ton of flavored seltzer. And as for my favorite food,
oh my god, I love Chipotle. Chipotle is my life.
okay, I'm sort of kidding. I honestly can't really choose just one food because I'm extremely indecisive, but for some reason Chipotle was the first thing that came to my mind, so we're just gonna go with that. That being said, I don't eat it often because it is really, really unhealthy and super expensive. But, you know, sometimes you just want that high-calorie, high-sodium guacamole. You know what I mean? Anon asks, which college degree would you recommend to most people? Firstly, I'm not trying to be rude, but college is spelled with an E, not an A. Not trying to insult you or anything, I'm just letting you know for future reference. But to answer your question, that really depends on what you're interested in. I don't think you should pursue a career just because it pays well, because I personally believe that money really can't buy happiness. You can be a millionaire, but if you hate your job and you feel miserable 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, is it really worth it? If you want to do something that's in the arts, like acting, singing, dancing, painting, whatever, go for it, but also maybe consider having a backup plan. Unfortunately, sometimes those careers just won't be enough to support you, so you should keep that in mind when you're choosing a major in college. That being said, we also live in a world where any career might not be able to support you anymore, so that sucks. Are you a goth? No, I'm not. But I do really like alternative fashion, meaning clothing associated with goths and punks and stuff like that. And I do dress like that a little, but not really enough to consider myself part of the subculture. This is mostly because I can't afford it, because alternative clothing is expensive, and also because my mom won't let me. Biggest Dickus asks, I definitely don't feel like a dumbass saying that. Opinion on Slender Man? I used to think Slender Man was really, really scary, but not anymore. To be honest, nothing really scares me anymore, at least horror movie wise. There are pictures I've seen that really scare me and stories I've heard that chill me to the bone, but Slender Man isn't one of them, and I doubt that the movie that just came out would scare me either. I haven't seen one horror movie so far that has really scared me. That's not to say that I don't enjoy them. I find them very entertaining, but they don't really scare me. Bob Dylan asks, do you watch any sports? I'm a big football fan, Forza Milan. I'm not a huge sports fan, but I don't mind watching sports. I mostly like soccer and hockey every once in a while. My stepdad really likes soccer, so I cheer for the same teams as him, which are FC Barcelona and Zenit, which is the soccer team for St. Petersburg, the one in Russia, not Florida. The last time I really watched a game was during the World Cup when Russia played against Croatia. I was more invested in that game than any other soccer game ever. But congratulations to Croatia. I don't know if anyone from there is watching this, but once Russia lost, we continued to cheer for you guys because gotta represent the Slav squad, you know what I mean? Also, your goalie is fucking amazing. Caesar McGred asks, what direction do you want to take your channel? I would like my channel to be a mix of politics, but also more lighthearted stuff. I talk about politics because I feel like I have to for the sake of my freedom and everyone else's, given the state of American politics right now. But I don't actually really like talking about politics. Political videos to me are pretty negative, and I don't want that to be all my channel is. So I hope to do more lighthearted stuff in the future. I haven't really done that yet because I don't know how it'll be received, but I probably will do it in the future anyway because I want to. Also, I hope to eventually show my face, which will open a lot of doors for me. There are a lot of things I want to do on this channel that I can't do unless I show my face, and I would also love to make a second channel where I make more personal videos for people who would be interested in that. But I don't think that's happening anytime soon. One day though, one day. And now for the final questions. Who inspired you and why did you start making videos? Firstly, I want to talk about who inspired me. There is quite a few people that inspired me, and I'm probably not going to name all of them here. When it comes to people that inspired my political opinion, I would have to say that it would be YouTubers like Blair White, Ready to Glare. These YouTubers really opened my eyes because before I started watching them, I myself was an SJW, but I'm gonna get into that in a little bit. As for other people that have inspired me, Shane Dawson is definitely one of the people that inspired me. Granted, in a different way than the other people that have inspired me, but he inspired me more creatively rather than politically. He is kind of one of the people that made me want to pursue YouTube in the first place. I've been a fan of his since he was doing sketch comedy, and I think that it was great, and I would definitely like to experiment with that in the future. You know, there are a ton of other people, and I genuinely can't even think of the rest of them because there's just so many, but those are just a few, I guess I would say. As for why I decided to start making YouTube videos, I've been a fan of YouTube pretty much since the beginning, and I've always wanted to do it. I consider myself a pretty creative person, and I thought it would be cool to be a YouTuber. Granted, I never thought that I would be making the type of YouTube videos that I make now, but things don't work out the way you think they're going to. I started making political videos because, to be completely honest with you, I see third wave feminism as a cult. I had these ideologies ingrained into my brain from a young age by people around me who were older than me. When you're a kid, you just immediately assume that people who are older than you are smarter. I now know that that is certainly not the case, but for a very long time, I was an SJW. I believed in all of these super liberal ideologies, and I never dared question anything, which is actually how I got into the fan acceptance movement. I would even get into arguments with other members of my family about social justice topics. But here's the thing, I would argue about things I really knew nothing about. I would just regurgitate information I had read on sites like Upworthy and BuzzFeed, or information that had been told to me by someone, none of which I ever fact-checked, and instead just took as gospel. And looking back, I'm so embarrassed that I so blindly fought for things I I didn't even understand, because that's the honest to God truth. I didn't understand. I thought that I was old enough to know what I was talking about, but I wasn't. I just believed everything everyone said because I was so afraid of ever hurting anyone's feelings that I just stayed quiet, that I just never asked any questions and just went along with it. But none of these people ever cared about my feelings. No one cared about how I felt when political propaganda was being pushed in my face all the time. No one cared about how I felt when I was pulled into these political arguments between family members and had to defend one person or the other when I felt extremely uncomfortable doing so. And eventually I started to realize that I was wrong, that everything these people had told me for years didn't make any sense. And yet I still kept my mouth shut because I was too scared to say anything, because I loved these people, and I still do, and don't want to hurt them. But I got sick and tired of it. As I mentioned, I started watching people like Blair White, Ready to Glare, Armored Skeptic, and I realized that their points made way more sense than what had been told to me by other people. And then I actually started doing my own research and thinking for myself. I started actually using my brain instead of just repeating what others told me without understanding what the hell I was saying. And I got sick and fucking tired of being scared to say anything and keeping my mouth shut because I might hurt someone's feelings, because I've been hurt in the past and no one cared when I was hurt. I still care about people's feelings, but I'm tired of putting everyone before myself. So that's why I started a YouTube channel, so that I could finally say what I wanted to say and share my stories and speak my mind. Instead of just saying bullshit that was told to me by random people, I decided to say what I actually think. Not what other people told me to say, but what I wanted to say. And I encourage you guys to do the same. I encourage you to speak your mind and question people and share your opinions, even if you disagree with me, because you should not let me or anyone else dictate to you the way you should think or act. You should make your own decisions based off of your own research. I've noticed that so many people used to be SJWs when they were young, impressionable kids and then grew out of it because they realized that it was wrong, because they realized that all of these ideologies may be right, but have been taken so far that they have become ridiculous. I made this channel because third wave feminism is a cult. Why else do they have to lie to make themselves seem right? Why else do they have to write children's books and make videos for children teaching them things that they are way too young to understand? If third wave feminism isn't a cult, then why is it that I was so scared of speaking my mind? I'll tell you why. Because they attack anyone who disagrees with them and tries to silence them. The way that people are shunned when they leave a cult and insulted by the people who they thought loved them, all because they disagree. It's disgusting. And that, my friends, is why I started this channel. I'm sorry to end this video on such a serious note, but that's the reason I left this for the end, because this is an important topic for me, and I don't just make these videos to be cool and edgy. I make these videos because I have experience with the SJW mindset and with being basically brainwashed into believing complete bullshit. When it comes to the fat acceptance movement, I didn't really talk about that here because I want to make a separate video just entirely about that, but that does also play a big part in why I started my YouTube channel. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for your questions and also your never-ending support, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it's late, but I had some problems while editing and I had to re-record the entire thing, so that sucks. I'm really surprised that so many people submitted questions, but I hope that I answered them well enough for you guys. If you like this video, you can leave a like and subscribe. You can also follow me on Twitter and Tumblr if you want to send me suggestions, questions, or just stay updated with my channel. Anyway, I'm the Spookiest Ghost, and I'll see you guys next time.